Plotting rise over run. We often use the phrase rise over run to help us determine what to do with a slope. And it's helping you to determine points on a line based on the slope. And that phrase rise over run will help you find your points, and if you already have a point on the line and you know the slope. So the slope we think of as rise over run. And M is often the letter that we use for slope, and you can also use the word slope is rise over run. So I'm going to show you how to, if you start with a given point, how to find other points based on a slope. So here's my first point right here, and I want to use a slope of 3/4 and plot another point. Okay, so to do that, I think of the slope 3/4 as the rise over the run, and that means that every time I rise or go up 3, because it's a positive 3, that I will run or go to the right 4. Okay, so let's try that out. So if I start here at this point, then the rise, I'm going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to run 4. So that's a positive 4, so I go to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that puts me right here. Now there's one other way to find a point, another point on your line, and that's to think of the opposite. So I can take the 3/4 that I know is my slope, and I can multiply by something that reduces to 1 and is going to change my sign. So I'll multiply -1 divided by itself is the same thing as 1. So if I multiply anything by 1, I haven't really changed its value. So I'm going to use that idea to multiply the 3/4, my slope, by a -1 over 1. So when I multiply, remember we multiply straight across with fractions, so I'll end up with -3 over -4. Now I know a negative divided by a negative is a positive, so I can double check that my -3 over -4 is the same thing as the 3/4 that I started with. But I can use it in this format, -3 over 4, and think again, rise over run, and I can use that sort of new slope to find one more point. I'll use a different color pen and come back to my point here. I'm starting at my original point, and then I'm going to use a -3 for my rise. Now because it's negative, I'm going to go down instead of up, because on your rectangular coordinate system, your positives are to the right and to the top, and your negatives are to the left and to the bottom. So starting at this point, if I want to go in the negative direction, I'll go -1, 2, 3 for my rise, a -3, and a run of -4. So I'll head in the negative direction again, 1, 2, 3, 4. That puts me right here. So now you can see I have a point here, I have my original point, and I have another point there. So those are 2 additional points that I plotted based on the slope.